Good morning, my friends. How's everybody doing today? So things seem to be heating up just a little bit north of me in Portland. Oh my God, what is really going on here, Oregon? Yes, it seems like Antifa is absolutely getting themselves cooked on the books all the way from Washington, D.C. It seems like their shenanigans, their tomfoolery, their buttfuckery has reached epic levels to where it's now got presidential attention. And am I shocked by this? No, not at all whatsoever. This has been a long time coming. I can't believe that they got away with what they got away with in 2020. That's absolutely insane that they're still, there are just no consequences for that. The whole Summer of Love thing, they just destroyed Portland. Look, you got away with that. Why don't you sit the fuck down and shut up and just be like, yay, we got away with destroying the city once. You have to be the ever perpetual villain. And don't get me wrong, the idea of being against fascism is a great idea. Fascism sucks ass, bro, through a Slurpee straw. It eats ass with a spork from KFC that broke halfway down, so it's real short and you're trying to just, you know what I'm saying? Fascism is not good. But the way that these people operate is entirely fascist. They want to use violence to silence anyone who stands against their political ideologies, which oftentimes is stone cold retardism and anarchism and changes every single day. And if you question it, if you have the balls to think, you know what, maybe everything they're telling me isn't legit, you even question them, you are a Nazi, you are a fascist, you are the enemy. And, their whole premise is that anyone who's fascist or Nazi should die. But they'll brand anyone who disagrees with them a Nazi or fascist. Do you see what I'm getting at here? They're inciting political violence. They're bringing political violence, and they need to be handled. And the White House has taken notice. And this orange dude over here, he's mad. And when orange dude gets mad, he sends in troops. And I don't agree with everything that orange dude does. I don't agree with everything Trump does. 1,000%. And release the fucking files, you weird fuck. We can also talk after this about how Elon Musk, Steve Bannon, and Peter Thiel were just named in Epstein files that were released yesterday. But I want to get into this Portland thing first. So we're going to hear what he had to say yesterday because troops are on the damn ground. William Stryker, I see what you're saying right there, bro. Troops are already on the ground in Portland. And Portland is losing its whole shit that troops are on the ground. Zero Zuka said they have entered the find out phase. They're freaked out right now, dude. They're freaked out right now because, yes, they have fucking Humvees and armored vehicles, military vehicles on the ground in Portland. And as you're going to see, we're going to get into what Trump said. But Trump made it pretty clear what he wants done here. And honestly, I'm here for it. Now it started to spill into my city. It started to spill into little peaceful college town, home of Nike, home of the Oregon Ducks, Eugene, Oregon. These retards came down here and escalated the situation. And I've had 2 videos taken down by YouTube who claims they're not doing censorship of political speech anymore, but they've taken down 2 of my videos showing what's happening here in my city. What these people that are paid agitators from Portland who came to my fucking city have been doing. Assaulting citizens. Terrorizing people at the federal building. So, J.E. said Portland is about to get a federal cavity search. Bend over, spread them, and cough, brother. Doom, what's up, Doom? This makes me want to leave the planet. Anyone know if ET is accepting abduction applications? I think so, but the application includes a little bit of probing, which I'm anti-probing. personally, but I don't judge other people. So, I mean, it just depends on what you're willing to give up, bro. Taylor said, yo, JD, out camping, watching from the moors. Much love, dude. You're watching, hanging out with us while you're camping? Hell yeah, bro. That's sick. William Stryker said, are they sending in active duty troops or National Guard? We're going to look into that. We're going to get into that. I spent all day yesterday inside Oregon State Penitentiary in Salem, Oregon. That's plumb right between where I live in Eugene and Portland. And it's where I did the majority of my time. It's the only maximum security penitentiary in the state of Oregon. But me and my buddy Big Bill went in there yesterday so that we could share some hope and an idea of the future. And honestly, my boy Bill works for St. Vincent de Paul. We had 48 job positions to fill, and they're a second chance employer. So we were trying to get people that were coming out of prison soon lined up immediately with jobs. So I need to catch up on this a little bit, and we're going to do this together, bro. Roman said Ice Cube was the last straw. Dog, I'm telling you. So if you aren't up on this, Ice Cube was in Portland, and some idiot Molotov'd his tour bus. Firebombed Ice Cube's tour bus. Why you want to fuck with Cube, dog? Well, that day was not a good day, bro. Why would you fuck with Ice Cube? I think that one of these people is so retarded that they saw Ice Cube on a tour bus and they thought it was an ICE detention bus. That's literally the level of intellect that they're going to be sending the American military after. Woo! This shit is going to be so fun to watch. Daz Salford said, massive respect to you from the UK. Love your stuff, man. Hey, huge love and respect to y'all out in the UK. We're going to be doing some big stuff, talking about what's going on with you guys there very soon. I'm going to be having a major UK guest coming and speaking with us. The fact that 18,000 people were arrested in the last year in the UK for posting on social media. We are going to address that too. We love you guys, and you guys should be able to speak freely without fear of imprisonment and getting a longer sentence than a child rapist. BG, hello, martial law homies. Hey, everybody, get your martial law squad together. Get everybody together. Just like your zombie apocalypse squad, you're going to have a martial law squad here. Yo, C-Baller. Hold on, we're going to jump into this video here in half a second. We just got a real quick jump in. C-Baller said, and I love that profile picture. Look at that puppy's face. Hey, JD, long time no see. Law and Order, as far as the files, notice how the Dems only release people associated with Trump and no one else. The whole thing needs to be released. Period. And they wanted the headlines with that so that they could say, oh, look, Elon Musk and Steve Bannon and Peter Thiel are in the files. I haven't been able to fully research what it said about Peter Thiel. And that's why I'm holding back on that, because he's the one I'm most interested in. Elon's was a nothing burger, bro. Like, there was no confirmation that Elon went to. There was just a memo saying, is Elon Musk still coming out? But there was nothing else that had anything to do with Elon, and it was just a note. It was a memo. So there's no confirmation there. That's why we need all the files, and we need an idea of what's on those disgusting videos. I don't want to see the videos, but I want to know what the fuck was on the videos. So yeah, the whole thing needs to be released. We are going to jump into this real quick because I want to get on task here, and then we're going to get back to these supers. But here you go, guys. This is not a long video, but it's going to let you know exactly what Trump's intentions are here.
But take a look at Portland sometime. These are wild, these are crazy people, and they're trying to burn down buildings, including federal buildings. And on my list of things that I want to do before we finish up with the cities, because I think we're going to whip the cities back into shape, but we have to. We cannot let our cities, and that's a small example, but it's the most violent example. It's every night, and they've done it for years. You'd think maybe at some point they made their point, and what are they doing? But we're going to get out there, and we're going to do a pretty big number of those people in Portland that are doing that. They're professional agitators and anarchists. They're actually...
And here's the thing, you guys, is that, like, these people aren't rich. These people are funded. These people are able to be out there day after day, night after night, with gear. Like, some of these people have professional-ish gear. A lot of these people are homeless Oregon retards. They're getting funded for doing this. They're 100% getting funded for doing this. Let me address this because we have a weapons-grade fucking lop in here. JD has charges, 3 charges for domestic violence. Which JD, you lying sack of fucking bullcum? I've never had a single charge for any type of violence. I have 0 violent charges on my record, and I don't ever put hands on women. You are a liar and a fat mouth, and you're lucky that I don't fucking sue your bitch, lame, daddy guzzling fucking punk ass for fucking saying that type of shit. You fucking rusty fuck bucket. You're fucking gone. I wanted to address that because I've never in my life had a fucking violent charge. My criminal record is very public. I have over 1.5 million subs on here. Do you think that if I ever had any fucked off shit on my record, do you think if my record wasn't like, I mean, granted, the crimes that I've done, I'm not trying to justify them or say they're good dude crimes, but do you think if I was out here beating up women or had any funny style ass beefs, it wouldn't have all the way fucking come out? You fucking retard. Go suck your dad's dick some more, and let's get back to what he's saying, because these people are absolutely funded.
Anarchist, yeah. Go ahead. Why don't you defend? Let's see you defend them, Jeff.
No, I'm not defending anyone. I just want so that we can just explain.
Let's see who defend them, Jim. And bro, anybody trying to defend Antifa is hard up. The only way that people can actually try to defend Antifa is by saying, well, Antifa isn't an organization. It's a principle. It's a fucking it's a idea. And how can you attack an idea? Pretty fucking easy, bud. All the people carrying the Antifa fucking flag, it's not an organization, but y'all bitches got a flag. Y'all organize and meet using the internet to organize. It's pretty fucking obvious, you fucking retards, that you're an organization. How do you fucking attack that? Pretty easy. You designate them a terrorist organization because that's entirely what they do. They are terrorists. They go out and violently attack people and federal buildings and federal property in the name of a political ideology, which is it's fucking completely and totally hypocritical. But even beyond that, what they're doing is fucking illegal. They're terrorists. Fucking get them. Was he talking about JD Vance? Bro, True Seeker, come on though. For real? Like, here's the thing. Is, do you think JD Vance, we wouldn't know if JD Vance had domestic violence charges? Like, there's 0 possibility that we wouldn't know if JD Vance had domestic violence charges. Dude wanted a little bit of attention, and dude got his little bit of attention. Dude got his little itty bitty bit of attention. Did the baby want a binky? Did JD hurt your feelings? Did the baby need a pacifier? And here you go. Here your little attention for today. You know what I'm saying? That's what I should have done immediately, is busted out the JD hurt my feelings pacifier. Because clearly, he need a little, you want to suckle from the nipple? But yeah, no, I don't think he meant JD Vance. If he meant JD Vance, he's even stupider. Because JD Vance has been scrutinized way more than I have.
In our stories,
you don't explain it right, though, Jeff. Go ahead, let's go. Maybe let's give you another chance. Go ahead.
Antifa, Soros, what names are we talking about?
Well, Soros is a name certainly that I keep hearing. I don't know, but Soros is a name that I hear. I hear a lot of different names. I hear names of some pretty rich people that are radical left people. Maybe I hear about a guy named Reid Hoffman. Somebody's a pretty rich guy, I guess, and I hear about him. I don't know, maybe could be him, could be a lot of people. We hear the same names, but they're bad, and we're going to find out. And if they are funding these things, they're going to have some problems because they're agitators and they're anarchists. These are anarchists, really bad. Okay, yeah, please.
Mr. Jones, can you, Mr. Jones, can you, are you,
Who you
Mr.
with?
President,
Who you with?
I'm with the Center Square, Sarah Rodriguez is my name. Sarah, there's also, as you know, Antifa is not just a domestic terror, or now a domestic terror organization, it's also international. I know the Netherlands is looking at also designating them a terror organization.
Right.
Have you been working with your intel?
Well, so it is international because if you saw what happened in France like 2 days ago, Antifa, it's been international. Antifa's been an international terror organization for a long time because fucking they've been in France for a grip, bro. Like France has had Antifa going off and doing this shit, but France just sucks their dick about it, bro. And that's what we did the last 4 years. These people had their dicks sucked for being out there in the streets going, we're helping, we're anti-fascist. And, they were allowed to do this wild shit. They were allowed to fucking go buck wild. They were allowed to attack citizens. They were allowed to destroy people's personal property. They were allowed to do all this crazy shit, burn Portland to the fucking ground, and nobody did anything. So they feel empowered to do the shit that they're doing right now. And it needs to fucking stop. And it definitely doesn't need to come to my city. Send the feds here, bro. They're spilling over here. They're driving down, they're carpooling down here with their little garbage can fucking shields and their fucking face masks. Send some feds down here, bro. Because the few that were arrested were immediately released. Our area here in Eugene is not going to protect its citizens. Oregon was the very first sanctuary state in the entire country. So it doesn't surprise me that we're having this crazy fucking retarded shit happen. Aunt Paul said, hey guys, I know things are scary right now, but don't worry, it's going to get way worse. Felt that, my guy. Thank you for giving us all a little peace of mind. Shane Man, what's up? Hey JD, with you from South Carolina, and I'm here for it. Love you, bro. I'm also a recovery coach. Love what you do, bro. Hey, big love and respect to you, man. We all in this together. Josh, thank you so much, brother. Stryker said, I got to take my wife shopping. I'll talk to you and everyone else later. Thank you for swinging through, Stryker. Appreciate you, big dog. BG said, remember Kamala bailed out Antifa. Knock, knock, FBI. Yeah, so Antifa is the strong arm of the left, bro. They are the strong arm of the left. And the left doesn't mind if they go out and they hurt private citizens. They don't care if they burn down your fucking house or your car because they get their political agenda done for them. And I think that when we find out who's been funding them, I'm just going to say there might be some George Soros up in that bitch. There might be even some Peter Thiel up in that bitch. I don't trust these motherfuckers, bro. Yo, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. Starvos, hi JD. I want to see George Soros go through the wood chipper. We was just talking about that, dog. I ain't even got to that one yet. Yeah, I feel that, bro. Soros is a weapons grade piece of shit. Soros is, we could flush him and humanity would be better off for it. Ivan Maines, watching your show from Florida. Keep up the good work, brother. Appreciate you, Ivan. Big love and respect to you out there in Florida. Doom said, if I was God, but no, I'm the devil. Politics summed up simply, I should probably not quote myself as often as I do. Hey, I like your quotes, homie. Alex Beck, what's up, man? Thank you so much. I would like to lobby for a truck driver's carry law. So legal, law-abiding, over-the-road truckers like myself can protect themselves in every state, especially with all that's going on. Much love, JD, from 125 near ATL. Alex, I think that's an incredible law. And I think that we should push for that because I know that truckers feel very exposed out there and there's so much difference in state to state variance in the laws, man. That's a great idea. I think that you should try to push for something like that. I'll help you, bro. I'll help you. Patty, what is up, sis? How you doing? Big internet hug. Loving this. Twice in a week, I get to see my little bro on here. Bring out the wood chipper. Love you, Patty, and I appreciate you. I'm glad you made it with us, sis. Dominic said, sup, bro? Thank you for covering this. I hope that peace comes back to the United States. One love. I want nothing more than for peace to happen, bro. I want people to go home, enjoy their lives, find someone that they love. I don't care if it's a boy with a boy or a girl with a girl or a toaster oven with a fucking toaster oven, however you want to identify. I don't give a fuck, bro. I encourage everybody to live their life and pursue the American dream in the way that makes them happy. That shit, that's what I want to see. I want to see everybody living their life and being happy. Here's what I don't want. I don't want to see people in the streets doing acts of violence. And if they do, I want to see them fucking dealt with like we used to in this country. You used to not be able to go out in the streets and attack federal buildings, federal agents, private American citizens, and fucking you'd get by left-wing media, and then they would give you your next target by branding somebody a fascist or a Nazi. And then these little mentally ill fucking ducklings, crash test dummies, fucking torpedoes, go out and go get the next target. They killed Charlie Kirk, bro. You know what I'm saying? I want to see peace, but at this point, to get peace, we're going to have to crack a few fucking heads. And that's, I think, what Trump is trying to do, sending these out, bro. Jeff Lee, appreciate you. Yo, Lucas Henry, what up? Oregon may not care, but y'all got Clint Smith. Hell yeah, dog. Roman Wolf Gaming, George Soros is Penguin from Batman. Yeah, absolutely. Dominar, what's up, bro? To lighten the mood, a little joke. A little Irish joke. What a 66% poop. 2 turds. Bro, yeah. John Wolf, carpool clown, down to Eugene. Lowell also as a peer in the field of mental health and addiction here in Dirty Jersey. Big love and respect to you, man. Intellectual iconoclasm. Designated Terry, eyes on action by anyone and everyone. Yeah, bro, it's really important with everything that's going on that everybody keeps it frosty, bro. No matter where you are, because this shit can pop up anywhere. Roy Anderson, big love. Fazul, from South Florida, Heavenly Father bless JD. God bless you and everyone in this chat, man. Jeff Hart, Pacific Northwest is filled with trans-Tifa, easy to spot. Super easy to spot, bro. One thing they're not good at is blending in. Except that there's becoming so many of them that to blend in, you gotta kind of like wear a fucking, one of those furry tails that you jam up your ass, like a butt plug, and some rainbow colored shit to blend in these days, because they're kind of taking over. Kissinger, Soros, Epstein, Fink, guess a few things they got in common. Damn straight. Seth, hey JD, hope you are having a good weekend and glad to be here. It's good to see you, Seth. Huge love and respect to you, my guy. We are going to jump back in. I want to hear President Trump say the thing.
Community and your DNI to possibly expand that to making them designated
Yes,
an
we have.
international
Yeah,
terror
we have
organization.
been. Yep. It's an international. In many cases, it is international.
Mr.
Yeah.
Madam, on Antifa, if someone takes to the streets of America and says they're Antifa, what happens to them? What will happen to them?
Well, I'd say the maximum under the law, and we'll see. Now, if they kill somebody, we just signed a death penalty, so it depends where it is. But if they kill somebody, which they do, I mean, people are dying. You go out to Portland, people die out there. Many people have died over the years in Portland. Portland is, I don't know how anybody lives there. It's amazing. But it's anarchy out there, and that's what they want. They want anarchy, like when they attacked Seattle and took over a big percentage of the city. I was going to go out, and we were going to do a big number. They heard that, and everybody broke up all of a sudden. But, you know, you have governors that have to run that, and a lot of them don't do that. I don't like to go in. I'd rather have Pritzker's support when we go into Chicago. But if we don't have it, that's okay, too, because we...
Well, and here's the thing, you guys. So the feds, the military has arrived in Portland. They're seeing military Humvees. They're seeing armored trucks. They're seeing troops on the ground. And Portland is flipping out. Their leadership has now gone from defy Trump, defy everything Trump says, to, oh, fuck, everybody be calm, don't take the bait, we can't get violent. Before it was like, violence, violence, violence. Armored trucks start showing up. You start seeing dudes with assault rifles in the fucking streets in army fatigues, and now all of a sudden, dude's pissing down his leg. Whoever would have thought that the mayor of Portland would start pissing down his leg and telling everybody, stay calm, we can't have this political violence. Oh no. Yeah, the switch up was immediate, bro. They ain't even had to did nothing yet. But they're not going to listen to the mayor. It's already gone too far for that. These retards need to get pepper sprayed, rubber bulleted. They need to get beat up, bro, that for them to stop. They don't have the fucking, you know that thing inside you where you touch the fucking stove and you're like, fuck, that's hot. I shouldn't do that. They don't have that. Most of these people have been through this multiple times, and they're like, I'm a martyr for the cause. Ugh! And then they get beat up and fucked up, and they're crying in cuffs, and they're begging people for GoFundMes for bail and shit. It's just a retarded pattern of retards being retarded. Yo, Magix, what's up? Love your videos. Blessed from Ontario, Canada. Big love to you, family. Appreciate you, sis. Patty said, oops, sent 2 messages. Put a couple dollars on tab. Love you, Patty. I appreciate you. I wasn't sure if you sent 2 or if YouTube had just done some sort of glitch where it doubled it up. Kane said, peace is the only battle worth waging. Albert Camus. And it sucks that sometimes you have to have violence to get to peace. But evil retards don't go along peacefully. Seth, oh bro, I was going to ask you, dumb, do you game? If so, you should play Helldivers 2, bro. I love to game. I never have time to do it anymore, bro. If I have time where I can do something like for me, I jump on here and I hang out with you guys. I work, I own multiple companies. I have a family. I make content. And so I don't go out or do anything. I literally just don't have time to game. I have a Steam Deck. Thank you, Donut Operator, for buying me the Steam Deck. I have a Switch 1. I have a Switch 2. I have an Xbox. I have the PS5. I just never have time to play them, bro, is my only issue. Herodis. Just a small thank you from Greece. Yo, thank you. I hope I'm wrong, but I think that the U.S. is once again the last best hope for Western culture as the EU has fallen. It's so bad what's going on over there, man. And hold tight, because things will change. Isaac Holder. Civis pacem parabellum. I know I didn't say that right, bro. I have trouble with English, bro. I'm mildly stunted, bro. There's no way I'm going to be able to pronounce that right, but I love you. New York Anchor Basil. As a New York bus operator, I think carry laws should also extend to bus operators, motormen, and conductors. Public transportation in New York is not safe, but communists like Hochul don't care about self-defense. Communists like Hochul want to see their people get fucked up for some reason, dude. Why is it that people like Governor Hochul just don't care? They get put in, and then they just don't care. Red Plumber, JD, come do a meet and greet in Salem Kaiser. I've been hearing solid things about you since my ODOC stint. I rock with you. Tough, anti-Antifa. Big love and respect, man. I appreciate that. I was just out in Salem yesterday to go back into OSP to be able to help dudes get lined up with jobs. I don't know when I'm going to be back, bro, but I'll let you know when I do, homie. Alex Beck, you have an open invite to run the roads with me anytime, brother. I would like to figure out a proper way to introduce that idea as a singular permit for all states. God bless you, fellow Florida man. Bro, and that's what it needs to be. I don't understand why certain things are federal, are state by state laws. I don't understand why, if there's a Second Amendment right, why different states can have different gun laws. It seems like they're shitting on the Constitution. The right to vote. Felons in some states can vote, and in some states can't. Each state has the option and opportunity to shit on people's constitutional rights. I understand state laws if it's not stepping on something constitutional, but when it comes to things that are constitutional, that should be just run by the fucking Constitution itself. Interpreted by the feds, as hands off as possible. I don't like people fucking with the Constitution. I think that people these days take way too many liberties fucking with our constitutional rights, bro. Rico Blaine, I'm in Portland, hate Portland, go Trump. Rico, I feel you, man. You know, when I lived in Portland back in the day, it was beautiful, it was cool, it was quirky, it was weird. There wasn't a lot of human feces all over the fucking sidewalks. And you could let your girl downtown, you could let her walk to the store without worrying that she was going to get jumped and raped. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a safer place. Roman Wolf Gaming, you should mess with Queso like Chris Hansen did. Chris Hansen messed with Queso? You know that's my illegitimate love child, bro. It was late. This was back when I was drinking. And I'm not ashamed of my son, but it wasn't my best moment. I had been drinking all night. It was late. I went to Wendy's. I got a big old bag of chicken nuggies, bro, and a Frosty, and I made sweet love to it. And 9 months later, Queso was born. He's my orange-haired love child. He sounds a lot like me, too. I don't know if you can tell the resemblance. Yo, Jacob, big love, bro. Hell yeah. Amanda Mullen, good to see you, sis. How are you? By definition, Antifa, anti-fascist, are fascist suppression of opposing ideas. If anything, Trump is fighting against fascism. Release the files. Love to JD's Nip and everyone here. Amanda, I love you, sis. You put that perfectly. Thank you. I'm still working on my caffeine this morning, but you came in, you were eloquent, you were well-spoken, you were poignant and graceful as always. Love having you here. Diego Herrera. I love that last name, bro. You have fans in El Salvador. Keep it up. I love y'all in El Salvador. Hell yeah, bro. Diego, big old hug. Big old hug to you, my dude. Wyatt Logan, thank you for being the voice for men like me. Never stop. Hey, we are all in this together, my guy. Every single one of us. Kitty and Lou. Side note. Key Lou has a video on David Singer, pedo, murderer, with all the up-to-date info so far. Also, I can't wait for my pink and black Mappa hat. I need to, thank you for reminding me. Thank you so much for reminding me. Hold on. We are going to, Jax, please remind me to call Bunker Monday morning. We need pink and black, make pedophile afraid again hats. Period. Thank you. You're very pretty, and I like your every stuff. We're making that happen. I love you, Kitty. Maxim said, I actually hope this would change the way things are run in big cities for the best. New York is becoming even more dangerous if Zoran would win. God, bro. I feel so bad for the people in fucking New York City that are actual sane adults. New York City is going to become even more dangerous. I hope this would make them back off with their BS. Yeah, well, I mean, it would definitely make them think twice if they know that they're allowing lawlessness in their streets, that the feds are going to step in. And the feds do need to be stepping in, bro. 1 second. Thank you, beautiful. Sorry, every once in a while I need... Jax helps me remember things because I got so much going on. She helps me out. Honey Badger Diaries. We'll be safe here in Grady Judd land in Florida. That's facts, bro. In Florida, they don't put up with none of this bullshit, bro. Seth, I may have missed it, but are you going to do a video on your recent video visit back into OSP? They would not let me take any phones, cameras. They wouldn't even let me take a watch into OSP, dog. They would not let us take anything. I tried to wear my Valhalla VFT hat. They said no. They were serious about it. Other states let me bring in 2 phones. You know what I'm saying? They let me bring in everything. OSP was very serious, very business. I understand, particularly with me having an STG jacket out of the state of Oregon Security Threat Group for being, a gang member in prison. But I am going to have pictures. So I will be releasing some pictures once they get back to me. But they were taken by a man who's in there who did 38 years in solitary confinement. And he is somebody that Jelly Roll really connected with when Jelly was in there. This dude has a pretty incredible story. He went in when he was 18 years old into solitary confinement and spent 38 years in there on death row. And I want to look fully into his story and tell you guys more about his story after I've researched it. Roy Anderson, rest in peace, Wolf Holmes. He lost his battle. Oh no, rest in peace, dude. Seth said, I love queso. That's my boy. Jacob said, big hands up from South England, former drug and alcohol addict, moved from homeland of the Czech Republic. I've been in the USA in 2012, and I love that place. I hate what happened. Y'all, big love and respect to you, my guy. Hell yes. Congratulations on the recovery, brother. Roman Wolf Gaming, yeah, everyone is roasting queso over the Goob Lagoon. Okay, I'm going to check that out. I haven't seen that yet, bro. Starvo said, small owner operator here, 3 trucks. I agree with Alex. Us truckers need to carry in every state we travel to. I was in Portland last week, and it's a mess there. It is a mess there, bro. Oregon is beautiful, but Portland and Seattle need work. They absolutely do. And now that Portland's mess is spilling out into Eugene, I'm mad as hell about that, bro. And yes, y'all should be able to carry every single place that you go. And it should be the same rules applied across the board. It should be a federal statute that runs completely aligned with the Constitution, and states should not be allowed to fuck with that, in my personal opinion. Terry said, firearm Iowa should be at the federal level. Facts. The Second Amendment is the first line of defense for our own safety and our First Amendment rights. Antifa just wants to be the fascist overlords of us all. And that's accurate, bro. That's mad accurate. Dark Wolf said, make America safe again, Second Amendment rights. And if there's anything that I agree with that this administration has done so far, besides closing down our borders and trying to prioritize the safety of our citizens again, it's the fact that they're talking about giving nonviolent felons our Second Amendment rights back. I don't think that the government ever should have had any sway or ability to be able to fuck with our Second Amendment rights. It don't make no sense, because in the Constitution, it doesn't say the government gave us those rights. It says those are God-given rights, bro.
They're paramount, and we will do what we have to do. We're going to make Chicago safe. We're going to make but we're going to make as many as we can, and usually that involves a surge. But what we did with, in the case of Chicago, by having the FBI go out there 5 or 6 months ago, we brought it down a little bit. You know, a little bit is 25%, so it's not so little, but it is when you're talking about the kind of crime and killings and murders that you hear in Chicago.
25% is not just a little bit, bro. 25, when you're talking about rapes and murders in our streets, when you're talking about people's sisters and kids and brothers and mothers and fathers, that's not just a little bit. Those aren't just statistics. And that's what bothers me, is I think a lot of the times people just look at numbers and statistics and they're like, oh, you know, it's just this or that. Bro, these are people. These are human beings. And what he said what he meant when he said surge, that means sending the motherfuckers in. And there's going to be violence when you send them in. When you're sending motherfuckers in, bro, there's going to be violent resistance. And those people need to go to federal fuck you in your ass prison. If the feds land and people get violent with the feds, they need to fucking go to federal prison. Period. Point blank. I don't give a fuck. You can disagree with me, but you're wrong.
But we're going to get it. Chicago's a great city. As the Union Pacific said, the head of the Union Pacific, who's a great guy, started off as a low-rung guy. He said he started at a caboose, and now he's the chairman of the Union Pacific. But he's a great guy. But he said, sir, don't lose Chicago. The way he said it, I said, boy, it really hit me. You know, here's a man that knows all the cities. The Union Pacific, I guess, is our largest railroad. And he knows all the cities. He's been doing it for 45 years. And he said, sir, don't lose Chicago. And the way he said that meant a lot.
Ooh,
breaking news
2
just
minutes
moments ago. President Trump sending troops to Portland. He made the announcement on Truth Social, and it read in part at the request of Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem. I am directing...
You guys, this is 2 minutes ago. The troops are already there. So, like, this is him announcing it after they've already landed. Like, we already have the reports. The mayor of Portland is already freaking out about this. And he's telling people, for the longest, he's been telling people, you know, go out, do what you need to do, blah, 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 blah. Now he's like, hey, everybody, go home. There's troops here.
Secretary of War Pete Hegseth to provide all necessary troops to protect war-ravaged Portland. Now, I remember this well. I remember 2020. There's a lot of violence in Portland. There was a courthouse that folks tried to set on fire, and President Trump deployed federal law enforcement there. I was his press secretary at the time.
If you go to downtown Portland and you look in these areas, shit is still boarded up. There's graffiti all over it. There's burn marks all over everything. Like, Portland still has not recovered, and it's been 5 fucking years.
Here's what I said.
By any objective standard, the violence, chaos, and anarchy in Portland is unacceptable.
Who that is? That's not Carolyn Levitt. Oh, that's back in 2020.
Yet Democrats continue to put politics above peace while this president seeks to restore law and order.
That bitch looked like Paris Hilton, kinda. That's hot.
Now, someone who was there with me in the White House at that time was Katie Miller. She's the host of the Katie Miller podcast. She has a long track record in the Trump administration. Katie, you and I were there in the summer of 2020. We remember how dangerous Portland got, and they still have...
Bro, Katie Miller looks stoned. Am I the only one? Bro, look at her eyes.
Crime problems to...
Look at her eyes. She looks baked as hell, dog. Y'all think Katie Miller's baked? Let me know in the comments if you think Katie Miller looks baked.
Day, what do you make of the president's action?
You know, the greatest difference between President Trump's first term and a second term is that we're not waiting for there to be set fires in Portland. As President Trump said in 2020, it's an anarchist jurisdiction. So what do you do with an anarchist jurisdiction? You deploy as many troops as possible. You gain control quickly, and you say, we are coming for you, and we will not allow the riots in the street like we did in the summer of 2020.
She's baked and she's based. She's baked and she's based, you guys. She knows what she's talking about. That shit's lit. Somebody buy her a pizza. Somebody order Katie Miller a pizza right now. She needs it, and she earned it. She deserves that shit. She has glaucoma. Well, get her a pizza, too. Let's get her some diabetes up in this bitch. Get her a box of Little Debbie's and some shit, because she's spitting red-hot fire.
This is President Trump's country, and he has promised to make sure that every American feels safe, and that includes our brave law enforcement, who's been the subject to too many violent attacks, whether that be what happened this week or weeks before that. It is not acceptable to attack law enforcement who are just carrying out the duty that Congress has charged them with. And President Trump has said no more. And by doing this action today, he's not waiting for it to get worse. He is going to protect our brave men and women who serve our country.
Katie, I'm really glad that you made that the focus, the brave men and women, because at that time in Portland, back in 2020, I remember vividly when protesters tried to light a courthouse on fire, and there was federal law enforcement in and around this. And President Trump does have the authority to deploy National Guard to federal property to protect federal assets. And Katie, I just saw yesterday ICE agents who were followed, people giving out their address, the attacks on ICE facilities. You worked at DHS.
So yeah, the idea that they're after, especially and particularly after this attack the other day in, what was it, Dallas, Texas. The fact that there are people out there just like doxing ICE agents and shit is entirely crazy to me. It's entirely crazy that they're doing that to me. These people should be imprisoned for doing that. First off, it's fucking illegal. Secondly, it should be prioritized because these are federal agents and they're inciting violence against them directly after an extremely violent attack that was aimed at federal agents. But it turns out that these Antifa retards aren't good at violence. They're bad at violence. And they ended up killing the people they were there to, I'm going to protect the migrants. Oh shit, I killed a migrant. Like, bro, come on. I want to jump down to this real quick. Mount 56, yo, JD. And first off, thank you so much for the support, bro. I appreciate that. I jumped down to this because it's a pink one. Means a lot, bro. It keeps us going here. In response to the OTR trucker wanting a nationwide carry law, check into Michael Boglin's Safe Trucking Act. There's been a push for this law for a long time, but the NRA shot it down because they want to push for all or nothing carry. You know, sometimes the NRA just gets in its own way, bro. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the NRA is based, and at other times, the NRA steps on its own dick, and it ends up harming the people that it should be there to help. And I acknowledge that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they're good, and sometimes it's like PETA for animals. It's a weird thing. And there's another one. Mount 56 also said, and thank you again, brother. Big love. That said, the NRA, JD, fuck the NRA. JD, keep doing what you're doing, bro. My daughters were both victims at 3 and 6 years old. Thankfully, that piece of shit was convicted and died soon after he got out. Well, I am terribly sorry that your daughters went through that, bro. But in a personal way, as a survivor, it warms my heart to know that he served his whole sentence and then died once he got out. I think that's great. I think that, you know, best case scenario, because prison sucks for these pieces of shit, is make them do their whole sentence and then their release should be a double tap. I think we should work for that law. You know, make them do 30 years in prison where they're getting beat down, butt-fucked, stabbed, forced to eat feces, and then their only release is doo-doo. That'd be a great law. I'd campaign for that shit all the way, all day, bro. You know? Dark Wolf said, make America safe again. Ranch Dressing said, I'm 6'4", 140 pounds with boots on. I wish I were you. Hey, bro, 6'4", do you know how many people would kill to be 6'4"? I'm 6 foot, and I was with my buddy Big Bill. Let me tell you a quick story. I was with my buddy Big Bill at OSP yesterday, and they call him Big Bill because this dude is like 6'3", 6'4". And I was taking pictures next to him, and I'm like, goddamn, bro, you making me look bad. Let me get on my tippies. You know what I'm saying? 6 foot, trying to just keep up with this dude, bro. 6'4" is dope, man. You know, I used to wish that I was shorter when I was bodybuilding really heavily because everyone in my bodybuilding team was like 6'8", 6 or 5'8", 5'7", and they could put on a little size and look way bigger. So everybody wishes they had a different body, bro. Just understand, no matter who you are, no matter where you're at, the body type you have is exactly who you're supposed to be. And there's things you can do to change things about certain aspects of it. You know, if you want to lose some weight, if you want to gain some weight, you could do those things by being disciplined and routined and working hard for it. But everybody is exactly who they're supposed to be, bro. And you're beautiful the way you are. Alex Beck. Wish I could get on a pod and talk about stuff from an everyday perspective. I just don't have the social media presence. The only way to get there is to get on every single day and do it. And you're going to go through a period where you have maybe 5-10 people that hang out and watch you. But the more that you consistently do it, the more that you're going to build. And like, there's some people who just get lucky or whatever. And then there's industry plants. But if you're a normal person like me, you get on every day and you put yourself out there. And the number one thing to keep in mind, besides consistency, is just being authentic. People can smell when you're being fake. People can smell if you're holding back because you're afraid. You have to be fearless and authentic and genuinely you. And that's how you build. Authenticity is the rarest commodity in today's society, man. It really truly is. Daddy Wolf said, hey, brother JD, check out Larry with Larry Connor on Charlemagne's interview. Just blew up the New York governor's race. Told you were flipping this state red. Love you, brother. Wood chipper army for life. I'm going to have to check that out, bro. That sounds dope. Vito said, what's good, big bro? Love from Long Island. Love right back to you, big Vito. What's up? Rico said, they keep Portland weird. Now it's full of weirdos. Keep Portland weird was never about like being fucking violent and fucking all that. It was just about like, bro, Portland used to be good weird and now it's retarded weird, bro. It's crazy. Man, Samsung. I live in Austin, Texas. Apparently, we have the third largest Antifa group in the country. That's funny. We never knew because they aren't doing anything. They know better. Well, yeah, Texas and Florida are not the states to fuck around in with that shit, bro. Florida and Texas are going to squash any type of nonsense like that, bro. You're lucky to have a government, a local government, that actually will deal with the business when it comes down. Suchka, why no one caring what is going on in Dearborn? Sis, what's going on in Dearborn? Educate me on it, hun. Colin K, as a trucker, DOT should be either laxed or removed. With all of the aliens truck driving right now, DOT has been such a pain for me and a lot of my fellows. They failed at their job while we're trying to make a living. Hey, bro, DOT is a nightmare. DOT is a mess, bro. You're 100% right. I remember dealing with them down in Florida when I was a mover. I worked 12 to 15 hour days in the Florida heat as a mover before social media took off, because I needed another job to be able to afford to do the work that I do in recovery, because recovery, it feeds my soul and it feeds my heart, but it doesn't pay. It doesn't feed the wallet. So I've always had to have a side job, and now I get to do content, but DOT was such a pain in the ass. Fred, what's up, man? Chomo time served. Exit the wood chipper door, win-win. Hell yeah, man. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Huge love and respect, my dude. Big time. Let's see. Dominar said, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. Jimi Hendrix. Bro, Jimmy was a beast, bro. Jimmy was a beast. I fucking love that dude. Jacob Howley. Heck yeah, about time. Beautiful. That city, beautify that city and clean it up. Great. This is absolutely what I voted for. Order and stability must be restored. The people of Oregon deserve better and safer streets. Much love from Wisconsin. And here's the thing. We absolutely do, but they'll keep fucking it up as long as we have mail-in voting. Because as long as we've had mail-in voting in this state, we have had just a non-stop Democratic rule, and there's no checks or balances. They have an overwhelming Democratic rule here, and there's nothing stopping them. And I think it's really telling what's going on with the mail-in voting, bro. So we need to end mail-in voting, and we need to have people come in and clean up what's going on here. And I'm really encouraged by this. Butt Knuckles, a JD Live, finally able to catch one. Love your energy, man. Always stay true to yourself. Much love. Butt Knuckles, you know I love you. You know I'm glad when you're here. You know your name makes me smile every single time. Let's see what this baked chick Miller has to say. Katie Miller.
Tell us what you know about ICE agents, DHS officials, these folks who put it all on the line and incur what you're looking at, this kind of violence.
Gavin Newsom is the first one who's demonized our great ICE law enforcement officers who put their lives on the line every single day to do the job that, again, Congress has charged them to do. And by President Trump taking this action today and saying we are not going to wait for it to be worse. And what happened in 2020 is, right, law enforcement served as crowd control measures. Yes, they made over 1,000 arrests back in 2020. But by doing this action today, he's saying that we're not going to wait. We're going to come quickly and come hard. And by doing that, you're protecting the ICE law enforcement in the...
I'm 12 years old, but when she said come quickly and come hard, I LOL'd just a little bit.
Field, because if you are greenlighting even a little bit of an ounce of attack against them, you don't know what's going to happen next. I mean, maybe we do, and we saw that what happened with our friend Charlie Kirk. But when you take quick and swift action, you are going to stand up for all men and women who today are on the streets arresting illegal aliens and ensuring their deportation, which is exactly what President Trump said he was going to do, is remove every illegal alien present in this country. And who's doing that? That is ICE. And we must all stand together with the people who are serving our great country.
Katie, I only have a few moments here, but I love listening to the Katie Miller podcast because I know you as a friend, and it's really cool because I feel like I'm getting to know the new Trump administration as a...
I think she's based as hell. Y'all think that Katie Miller is based? She just gained a new fan, bro. I fuck with what she's saying all the way.
a friend. I saw your conversation with JD Vance. You asked some really fun questions. What is the most exciting thing you've learned about a Trump administration official?
The greatest thing I really learned is how friendly they are with one another, which is such a change from the first administration, is that this time President Trump has truly picked a cabinet who enjoys hanging out with each other, whether that be on Air Force One or at dinners or on girls' nights together, because President Trump has selected such a diverse cabinet that includes more women than ever before.
Yeah, it's really fun to watch. Like my friend Caroline Levitt and Margot, they're all great friends, truly, really, and they're doing a great job. Katie Miller, thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm
Brian
I'm
Kilmeade.
going to tell you this right now. I'm stoked that I watched that personally because I like me some Katie Miller. I think Katie Miller is on point. Somebody asked if the troops are on their way or if the troops are already in Portland. The troops have arrived in Portland, and Portland is now personally freaking out. They are freaking out that they now have ICE there. So, yeah, or not ICE, the military there. There are Humvees and armored trucks in the streets. So, yeah, it's cracking off. Elijah said politicians talk a big talk about stopping Antifa. I just hope that the Trump administration keeps their word. Love from Oregon. Elijah, 100% with you. And we've seen them crack down in D.C. We see that they're cracking down in Chicago now. We need to bring that same shit to Oregon right now. It needs to happen now because they're starting to spill over from Portland into other places like Eugene, where I live. Dominic said, I feel bad for all the people that have put up with this crazy, how some people scream empathy, but no empathy for the innocents their actions affect. It's always the hypocrisy for me. It's the, we're anti-fascist, but they're operating out of a fascist playbook. It's that you have to have empathy until somebody slightly disagrees with them on any little tiny thing. And then all of a sudden, it's fuck them, they're a Nazi, they need to die. You know, if somebody's validly a Nazi or a fascist, we should be standing against that. But they've now weaponized those words for their political opponents or anyone who disagrees with them, and not even disagrees, people who ask questions. Imran, what's up, fam? How you doing? Leftists being bad at violence, what else is new? We saw it when they started their shit that caused the Proud Boys to be formed to defend themselves against Antifa violence. The Proud Boys annihilated these soy boy Antifa. Bro, it doesn't take much. It really doesn't take much because these people are basement-dwelling, mouth-breathing, chin-drooling, fucking furry, fucking toaster oven type people, bro. And you're 100% right. Darth Metalhead, what's up? JD, I need advice. My daughter 8 had a boy, classmate 8, try to touch her. Oh. The school will not remove the boy from her class. I don't know what to do. The school isn't doing enough, in my opinion. Call the police. If they don't handle it, call the sheriff's office. Call the state police. Involve the media if you need to. Escalate the situation. Because not just for your daughter, but for the safety of other kids, that kid needs to be addressed. If the school isn't doing proper measures to keep little girls safe, they need to have consequences. Escalate that situation, brother. Run that shit up. Rick Robbins, if you aren't born in America, you shouldn't be able to hold any political office. Just my opinion. I think that if the people truly believe in somebody and they vote them in, I think you should be able to, but like not if you married your brother. Like if you married your brother to get citizenship, like that's fucking weird incestuous shit. I had somebody call me incestophobic the other day for saying this. I am incestophobic. Yeah, if you're fucking your kinfolk, I think you're fucking weird. That shit's not legal in most states. I don't think you should be able to get citizenship for marrying your literal blood brother. That shit's fucking weird to me. Stop political violence. Former law enforcement James Bernard faces trial after being struck by a vehicle and firing in self-defense, while the suspect has since been arrested 5 times most recently for stomping a girl's head in a Soros DA. Where was that? Where was that? I'd be really interested to see which of these blue states that was in, because we know that ain't in a red state, dog. Trev said, we live at 9 p.m. EST on the Roll the Bones. Hope y'all come and join us. And there is a non-active link. Trev, put an active link so that I can put that up, and anybody who wants to follow the Roll the Bones podcast and keep up with what our mod Trev is doing over there, because I love supporting Trev, man. Please drop an active link for us, homie. Suchka, it's invaded and taken over by Muslims now. Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay, so, Suchka, thank you so much for responding. I appreciate you, sis. Dearborn. Okay. Hold on 1/2 a second, you guys. Jax, please remind me to research what is going on in Dearborn. Sis, I'm on it. I like, look, bro, the invasion of Muslims, like what's happening in fucking the UK, like what's happening over in Canada, like what's happening in so many of these different places, Ireland, Scotland. We're going to be talking pretty soon. Does anybody know who Tommy Robinson is over in the UK? I'm in talks with him to have him come and do a podcast with me. This shit needs to be addressed. The Sharia law has no place in Western society. They're fucking pedophiles. They're fucking misogynist. They're violent towards women. They're oppressive. Fucking no place in Western society. So we're going to be doing some more on this. Thank you for giving me something to look up, Suchka. I love you. I appreciate you, sis. Nobody 101. Good day from Australia. Just got my camo MPAA hat. Dude, sick. You know what? I'm going to wear mine with you, bro. So, since homie brought it up, I'm going to put on my camouflage Make Pedophiles Afraid Again hat. I'm wearing it with you, my dude. Love you, JD Fletch. Thank you so much for rocking the Make Pedophiles Afraid Again gear with me. I'm glad that you're on this boat with us, brother. Let's all do what we can to protect these kids. Backwoods Templar, what's up, JD? I missed the last 2 lives. Glad I didn't miss this one. Life's been crazy. Had a seizure. Stress stinks. I'm so sorry to hear about the seizure. I'm glad that you made it here with us. You are loved here, family. Brady said, who would win in a fight? JD DeLay versus JD Vance. What does the chat think? Which JD would win in a fight? What do you guys think? Jacob Hawley, JD, maybe we need to start arresting lawbreakers who obstruct state and federal law enforcement. That's always been a thing. That's always been a thing. It's always been a fucking thing. When did we stop doing that? If those state officials refuse, invoke the Insurrection Act, if those invoke Reconstruction time, enough. Facts. So a lot of people are saying they believe that I would win in a fight with JD Vance. Here's the thing. I think JD would win. I don't know which JD, but either way, a JD would win. And I think that's a win. I have no idea how to pronounce this. I'm gonna call you YNG. I'm going to call you YNG, homie, because I don't want to disrespect you by mispronouncing your name. Where are all those people getting their money? George Soros? I would bet a large sum of money that their funding is coming directly from Soros. Ike Pegs Marth. I love your name. Way closer on audio now. It's ahead maybe 3 frames as opposed to behind maybe 8. Love a nerd who spends way too much time in Premiere Pro. Facts, bro, facts. I'm on StreamYard. It might be a StreamYard issue, but my producer is going to be coming back down this week to help me dial it in, brother. I appreciate you and I love you. Thank you for keeping me up to speed. Claudia said, newest watcher from Europe. Like it here, stay here. Big love and respect to you, Claudia. Welcome to the family. Here's a hug. Stop political violence. Former officer James Bernard faces trial after being struck by a vehicle and firing in self-defense. Yeah, I think we already read that. I was wondering where that is. Does anybody know where that happened? Where did that happen? Because I would love to know. John Lucas, stupid question. How would we verify that any files they released regarding Epstein aren't altered and doctored up? We have no way of knowing that. At this point, honestly, our best case scenario would be to actually take a look at what the actual survivors and victims say. I mean, there are videos, but we can't release the videos because they're child pornography, bro. I think, investigating the videos and hearing the victims should be more than enough to put people into prison where they belong. Suchka, bring attention to the invasion in Dearborn, please. Sis, we are going to be doing that. Emmerin, man, as a furry myself, I'm sick that these fucks share a community as I do, but it is what it is. Well aware that I am the minority in that community, but it's still embarrassing enough as it is. I 100% get that, bro. And, it's always going to be the people that are the loudest and the most retarded that are going to get the most coverage, bro. And that sucks. Dominar said, I seen a poster yesterday that said, if we deported all the illegal aliens, who would cut our grass? Your thoughts on that? I think that that's kind of a gross way of looking at things, bro. That's kind of like when Hillary Clinton wrote in her book that she, specifically chose black inmates to come work at the governor's mansion in their fields. It seems like they're just revamping slavery. You know what I'm saying? They just want cheap labor. Instead of having people come through, streamlining the process to get citizenship, I would like these people to be able to come through with a streamlined process to be able to be citizens and have the same rights as us and get paid accordingly so that we're not just fucking these people off. It seems gross to me what we're doing to people. Hey, Jax, welcome. Oh, could you hand that to me? Ladies and gentlemen, we have my beautiful wife, my partner, my better half, my better looking half. Jax just walked in. Jax, do you want to say hi? Hi. So, I just got a package from Bunker Branding, which, as you well know, is where we do our merch from. And I wanted to show you the Wood Chipper 2028 shirts. I just got them. They have already been up there on bunkerbranding.com if you want to get yours. We have shirts and tank tops. And ta-da! We have them in black and white. There are also hats that have not arrived yet. And I am super excited. Very excited. Jax, if you want to look, there should be some in there for you as well.
This one is.
Yeah, get it. Phobia equals irrational fear. I think we're using phobic wrong. We're absolutely using phobic wrong. I don't think people are afraid, and I think that not liking what's going on in some of these situations is very rational. Suchka, oh my God, thank you very much. Love you. Love you too, sis, and thank you for bringing that to my attention. It is so often that the people in this community educate me and bring my attention to things that need to be brought attention to. I appreciate you guys. We are a community. This is not a channel. This is all of us in this together. Laura May, I see you and I bear hug. Love you guys so much. Marcus, good to see you. Shout out from my front porch, boys. Give them a wood chipper for me. Love you, bro. Alex said the truckers are plopping off today. God bless my haulers, brothers and sisters, and thank y'all for what y'all do. Speaking of plopping and being plops and pepperbacks, I was in OSP yesterday, and one of the correctional officers pulled me aside, and he was like, hey, JD. I was like, what's up, bro? He said, what was it like hanging out with the unsub guys, man? He's like, I watch you, and I watch all of them. And I was like, hey! So we had a plop hanging out in there that's a correctional officer, and he was a veteran. And we had a really cool talk, man. I just want you guys to know there are some really good correctional officers. I'm going to be doing content about this, but I was so encouraged with what I saw in there, with what they're doing to help inmates that are getting ready to transition back to the streets, and even ones that aren't. Lifers are in there getting trained to be substance abuse counselors that can work within the prison, because I know there's a lot of idiots who for some reason think that there's no drugs in prison, but there is. I could have, if as an inmate, it would take me 10 minutes to locate any drug that I wanted. So, the fact that they're helping them in there was nothing like that when I was in there. This is a huge shift and change, and I was so encouraged they're doing this for the inmates, which you're supposed to call AICs now, adults in custody. That's better than calling them offenders, at least. Vito said, you ever get a chance to spar or train with the unsub boys? I meant to do it while I was there, and we just didn't get the chance, brother. I wish we had. Dominic said, nice moves, sidestepping that JD fight landmine, wood chipper tribe, buying a hat now. Hey, I appreciate you, Dominic. Here's the thing, is that I have a lot of respect for JD Vance. JD Vance served our country. JD Vance was a Marine. I would have no inclination to have any combative or even issue with JD Vance. I respect the dude heavily. I like that he has respect for people in recovery. He's seen it happen with his mother, and he's been very vocal about it. So I like the guy. Insane Hippie said, Islam has not place in Western society. It has not been through similar religious reforms that Christianity has. These reforms allowed the entitlement period to happen. Exactly. Fucking exactly. Craig Bryant said, please look up George Soros in military uniform. Oh man, I'm going to look that up, bro. That's crazy. Andy Armour, the empty can makes the loudest noise. Facts. Andy, what a great quote, bro. Appreciate you bringing that. Victor said, call it what you will. Charlie's revival went international. I went from independent to constitutionalist, and the UK is fighting for freedom of speech. Yes. Yes. And I think Charlie would be so proud of that. Imran said, hey, Jax, good seeing the new merch. We'll be going out to play some Dead by Daylight. Was good seeing you, JD. Keep it cool, man. Love you, Imran. I appreciate you being here with us. Robert Jackson said, what's up, JD? Thanks for always keeping it real, my brother. Takes real men to spit truth. Robert, my brother, love you, dude. Amanda said, can Jax design a girly Mappa shirt with hoodie? I would love it. Jax, we have requests for you to design a girly Mappa shirt / hoodie. Boom, sis. I appreciate you asking. I think that would be great. I know there's a lot of beautiful sisters here with us in this community, so I want to make sure y'all are represented. Larry Leon, dude, just read Dearborn, Michigan has to listen to the Muslim call to prayer 5 times a day. In Michigan? Oh, dude. Suchka, I'm so glad you brought this to our attention. Thank you. And Larry, thank you for researching that. I deeply appreciate you guys. Dominic said, did you get to see that officer that told you he would see you again? I did not. Man. He was actually at a different institution because I got released from Sandy Am and I went into Oregon State Penitentiary yesterday. Ike Pegsmarth, JD Vance would win in a fight because he has the Secret Service. You make a good point, brother. You make a good point. But like I said, I got a lot of respect for JD Vance. He served our country. He's a veteran. And I think he has a lot of respect for people that struggle with substance use issues like I do. And he's been vocal about it. And I appreciate that. Mob Stopper said, happy Saturday, everyone. Happy Saturday to you, Mob. Appreciate you being here. Bo Wood, love the content and what you do. And have a quick question. Do you think that the root source of Antifa and what's funding it? I've had no luck looking. I think, so George Soros is very adept at pushing around money in ways that are non-traceable. But I think that once the federal government gets in there and starts looking, I think they'll be able to find where it's coming from, and I believe it'll lead back to him. Fred Marines, big love and respect to you, brother. Hell yeah. Thank you for being here. Jack L said, Tom Holman said he's aware of Dearborn, Michigan, and is going to do something about it. Well, let's apply some fucking pressure. Let's make that shit happen. Oh, here's something great. Let's check this out. Hold on, you guys. Apparently, ICE has arrested the leader of Iowa's largest school district. Let's peep this out.
This morning, an ICE agent in New York relieved of his current duties after recordings captured this violent incident. The agent pushing this woman into a wall, causing them to fall to the ground.
Well, why were you getting in the way of federal agents doing their fucking job, lady? Like, maybe it was a little excessive, but if you thought to not put yourself in retarded situations in which you're like literally committing a felony.
All after her husband was detained.
Yeah, no, bro. She put herself in that situation. I'm sorry, but you don't get in the way of federal agents and try to obstruct them from doing their job when they're making it wasn't even an arrest. It was a detainment at that point. Now you have put yourself in the situation of being charged with obstruction of justice. He could get hit with resisting arrest because of your actions.
Altercation unfolding at an immigration court downtown on Thursday. You can hear the woman pleading with the officer as he yells, "Adios." Moments earlier,
You don't touch federal officers, bro. Having done time in prison, I know that if I touch a CO, I'm getting fucked up. I don't know why we have to keep going back to this basic, what you learned in preschool. Keep your hands and feetsies to yourself. If it's not yours, don't touch it. And if you're grumpy, take a nap, bitch. Simple rules that'll keep you safe in life. And you should have learned it in preschool, and now you're out here getting fucked up by federal officers because you're putting hands on them.
the woman clinging onto her husband and two small children.
Yeah.
One officer seen here grabbing
And
her
your
by
kids
the
were
hair
there.
to
And their kids were there. Just let it happen and let due process take its course.
separate them.
Just grab her, put her away.
Officials saying the family was at the courthouse for a routine asylum hearing. ICE now investigating, a spokesperson saying the officer's conduct in this video is unacceptable and beneath the men and women of ICE. This as heated.
But it's not unlawful. It's not unlawful, and it's really easy to avoid putting yourself in that situation.
Protests grow across the country. In Iowa, new video showing protesters gathered outside the Neil Smith Federal Building in Des Moines Friday after ICE agents detained the superintendent of Iowa's largest school district.
Okay, but why? Why did they detain him? Let's get into why.
Des Moines Public Schools saying in a statement, quote, "We have no confirmed information as to why Dr. Roberts is being detained or the next potential steps. Our priority is to provide a safe, secure, and outstanding education for all students." ICE saying the superintendent was in the country illegally and had a final order of removal.
A final order of removal. That's pretty fucking definitive there, my guy. That's pretty easy to determine exactly why they fucking detained him. Because he needs to leave our country. A judge said final order of removal. That is what it is. Are we taking stupid pills today?
And in Chicago, hundreds of demonstrators trying to stop vehicles like these at an ICE facility entrance. Agents deploying chemical gas and pepper balls to break up the crowd.
So, and I just want to point out that these people in Chicago were chanting, "Shoot ICE, shoot ICE." ABC isn't showing this because it's ABC. This was a very slighted fucking video. I just saw that it was just released, so I wanted to get breaking news. But I can show you, I literally have a short dropping today of footage of these people chanting, "Shoot ICE, shoot ICE."
This is really what standing up for democracy looks like. It's not always putting on uniforms and going overseas.
Yeah, no, dude, you're wrong. You're wrong, and that's stupid.
My name's Matt Dunnigan. I'm the executive director at the Florida Sheriff's Association. I'd like to welcome you all here today. Sir, some really positive news.
Yeah, DeSantis, did you guys see what DeSantis said about Portland? After Trump said that he's sending troops out to Portland, he said, Florida's not Portland. We'll fuck you up, you guys. Basically and essentially, he said, we'll fuck you up. Hands down. And then you've got shit like this happening.
The FBI says 15 people have now been arrested, including members of a violent Tacoma street gang.
The fight against drug trafficking in the U.S. scored a major victory in Seattle, where the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, alongside other law enforcement agencies, launched a large-scale operation to dismantle a fentanyl trafficking network linked to the Sinaloa cartel, one of the world's most dangerous criminal organizations.
So people hate ICE. People want ICE agents shot. People are out there taking shots at ICE agents. Meanwhile, ICE is also out here getting fucking fentanyl traffickers off the streets.
This operation not only exposed sophisticated criminal activities, but also seized massive amounts of deadly fentanyl, weapons, and cash.
Good.
Shedding light on the severity of the drug crisis ravaging American communities.
Good.
Like the video, and subscribe to the channel to get the latest information.
So you got that going on out there in Seattle.
After an underground nightclub raid in Colorado Springs, our Denver 7 Investigates team was at the scene early Sunday. According to DEA sources, 17 military members were there, 8 of whom allegedly served as security.
Colorado Springs has just witnessed one of the most stunning federal nightclub raids in recent memory. And
the DEA and ICE got 115 people detained, 17 military exposed. They were pushing fucking drugs, and there was human trafficking involved. This right here is insane. Watch this.
All right, live look now at what started to break last hour and turned into a riot, and federal agents had to get involved heavily. Non-lethal pushback on this group, but pepper balls and a heavy amount of tear gas. Our reporter Mike Tobin was on the air with me just a little while ago telling me what materials they were using, and people were not really dispersing. They were hanging in there, if you will, and shouting things like Nazis at the federal agents. Now, that's not a crime. That's, that's protected by free speech. They can sound hateful if they want to. But when you physically press against people, you've gone now from that zone of peaceful protesting to really crossing the line.
It's a riot. It's a riot, and whether you're the one physically pressing in or you're one of the people that's with them, legally, you can be held liable. So if me and you are like, hey, we're going to go protest, and I'm like, yeah, super, let's keep it peaceful, and it's just 2 of us, we go down there, and cops or federal agents show up, and I'm with you, and you punch a cop, I too can be held legally liable, homie. I can be held as a co-conspirator in that. Every one of these people can be arrested legally by the letter of the fucking law.
And endangering lives against the people you're pushing. So they are now throughout the neighborhood. On the left, you see the line is being held. That's the live look. The moments ago, that's part.
Pounding on federal agents' vehicles is retarded. You're stupid as fuck. Do not do that.
Part of what's been happening. And I just want to point out, you can see some residential markings just off the campus of this Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility. That's where this broke out. So this is kind of furthering the problems that we're having at ICE facilities with people showing up and things getting out of hand. And we've seen even Democrat lawmakers get caught in this. Like, we know Congresswoman MacGyver has a trial coming up for showing up at the ICE facility in Newark, New Jersey.
Good. Good. She put hands on a federal agent. She is not above the law. If I do something and it's a crime and I could be put into fucking prison for it, then anyone else should be too. That's what justice looks like. Justice should be blind. Justice should not be unevenly distributed depending on who you are. It needs to be across the fucking board. You are the feds, JD. Your dad's throat was the feds on my fucking cock. You weird ass bitch. Fuck you, John Parker. I enjoyed that. And I enjoyed his dad's throat. It was soft and loving, unlike John.
And getting handsy and throwing elbows and get.
It's not my fault your daddy loves me more than he loves you, John. You're going to be okay. With a lot of therapy and maybe a lobotomy, your life is going to be okay.
Physical with those federal agents. If she's found guilty of the charges against her, she faces 17 years behind bars. This is serious. And that line is still needed because those people have not left. So we're watching that. Scenes like this in Chicago playing out. Agents facing
Yeah, so this is happening in Illinois. This is happening in Chicago. This is happening in Portland. This is happening pretty across the board. And since we were talking about who would win, JD DeLay or JD Vance, let's peep this real quick.
Earlier today, I had the chance to sit down exclusively with Vice President J.D. Vance at the White House. Covered everything from Kamala to Kimmel to Kirk. And of course, the dangerous rhetoric Democrats continue to spew.
As somebody who understands history, when I see ICE, I see slave patrols.
Donald Trump's. What a fucking moron. Is there anybody here who thinks that Jasmine Crockett, legitimately knows how to tie her own shoes? Talk about a lukewarm IQ.
Modern day Gestapo is scoop.
Try again. Gestapo. Gestapo. It's not Gestapo. You're a moron. Shut the fuck up. Get more tampons up your ass, Tim.
Scooping folks up off the streets. They're in unmarked vans wearing masks.
Folks getting snatched off the street by secret police who are wearing masks.
These people are terrorizing our communities.
Mr. Vice President, thanks for joining us
Good
tonight.
to see you.
Democrats have called ICE agents everything from slave patrols, kidnappers, and Nazis who are terrorizing communities. So we saw yet another shooting yesterday at an ICE facility. So what's your message to Democrats who keep spewing this type of violent rhetoric?
Well, it's to look in the mirror and stop this craziness, or you're going to get somebody killed. In fact, I think a lot of them already have gotten somebody killed, namely my friend Charlie Kirk and a number of other folks as well.
Facts. Break Tim Allen! Yeah! Bricked up for John's dad. His throat is supple and warm.
If you look at, it's not just the Democrats, Laura, the media is participating in this. I saw a story on NBC News just a couple of days ago, right before the ICE shooting in Dallas, and they were effectively accusing ICE of mistreating a 5-year-old child. Now, it turned out that story was completely fake.
I hope he explains this, because they're absolutely lying to people about this, and it's fucking crazy. And Trev, yeah, they signed 18th Street as a terror organization. I also have friends that are involved in 18th Street, and I have never seen terror activities out of them. So we'll see what's going on with that. I wish they would just focus on this Antifa assholes in the streets.
But if you read that headline and you were a crazy person, I could see how that could incite you to violence. So I think in a lot of ways, the Democrats and the media, because they so hate the idea of a real border, are engaging in a kind of blood libel against ICE agents. They're accusing them of engaging in crimes. They're accusing them of being part of the Gestapo. They're actually inciting violence against our law enforcement. They know exactly what they're doing, and now it's time to stop. Now, the shooting of...
So he's not going to explain that. Apparently, let me explain it. There was an illegal who they had a final deportation order on. They went to pull him over. He had his 5-year-old autistic child in the vehicle. He did a high-speed chase with his 5-year-old autistic child in the vehicle and pulled up into his yard, abandoned the child, and ran into his house to avoid getting detained by ICE. ICE got the child, and they were like, hey, you're safe, honey. The child was crying, freaked out. The kid was just in a high-speed chase. The dad wouldn't come out. And so they said they kidnapped the child. They were comforting and helping this child because their dad did a high-speed chase and abandoned the child, trying to run from law enforcement, from the consequences of his own fucking actions. And the left media has made this look like a kidnapping. Because that's what they do. They fucking lie. It's fucking weird and crazy.
yesterday. It turns out that the people who were killed were actually detainees, not ICE agents. I'm obviously glad that ICE agents weren't killed in that attack, but saddened that these detainees were killed, because though we don't want illegal aliens in our country, we also don't want them being shot at by crazy left-wing terrorists, which is, I think, what happened yesterday in Dallas. So all of this should have the left stepping back and saying, how can we actually contribute to a more reasonable conversation? Yes, we can criticize J.D. Vance's and Donald Trump's views on immigration, but we're not going to attack the law enforcement with libel and lies. We're going to make this a reasonable policy disagreement. I think that's how you tone down the rhetoric. Unfortunately, the Democrats show no willingness to do that. But again, if they don't stop, they're going to get more people killed.
Mature adult speaking right there. That is, and see, I agree with everything that he's saying, and I respect him as a fucking veteran. So yes, no, I do not wish for any beef with Sir J.D. Vance. Just for those of you in the chat who are asking who would win in a fight. Mob Stopper, happy Saturday, everybody. Love you, Mob. Bo said, love the content and what you do. I have a quick question. Do you think the root source of Oh, we already answered that. I believe it's George Soros. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Victor said, Secret Service versus Wood Chipper Tribe, pass. Yeah, no, I am not asking, nor do I want anyone in this community to ever go out and start shit with any type of federal agents. I have already gone up against the Secret Service. They arrested me, and guess what happened? When they came out of the bushes with assault rifles aimed at me and ski masks on, I put my hands in the air and I said, I'm going to get on the ground now. My hands are behind my head. My face is on the pavement. And you know what didn't happen? They didn't beat me up. I didn't end up getting more charges than necessary. And I ended up getting a rather decent outcome. I got house arrest because I didn't act like a fucking spoiled child asshole. The Secret Service is no joke, though. YNG, do you follow Dads Against Predators? Are you familiar with them? Yeah, bro, Shia is a good dude, man. I love Mundy. And I heard Jay just got arrested. I'm going to be contacting Mundy here in a little bit to see if his, because last I heard he had no bail. If there's a bail and he can't afford it, I want to try to help out, bro, because I like what DAP does. Victor, our tribe has enough fight to do with maps. Facts, bro, facts. Fazul, J.D. Vance knows how to struggle and get through it. Absolutely. He came up in a very rough childhood. Ish. Hey, JD, I just want to say what's up, and I'm glad I finally found someone that has the same values and morals as myself. Much love from Cali. Ish, love you. And is that your dog? Because that is a beautiful dog. Dominar said, some prisons are bringing in cats and dogs, doing great for the inmates. So they're actually doing that, I know, at Coffee Creek, which is the Oregon Women's Facility. And I saw a very touching story yesterday where they brought some of the service animals that they had trained to send out to people back into the facility to get a reunion with the ladies who had trained them, which I thought was just beautiful, man. Scroat said, Assistant DHS Barbie Tricia McLaughlin threw this agent under the bus on national television. Why am I not surprised? You know, law enforcement should call out other law enforcement when they're corrupt, but if they're doing their jobs, law enforcement should, not only should the citizens of this country have law enforcement's back if they're properly doing their jobs, but other law enforcement needs to have their back. Michael Fritz, that's pissed me off. In county a couple of years ago, 6 Muslims in there, and there were tons of food restrictions to everyone because of them. The majority got told, don't like things, don't go to jail, but catered to Muslims. You know, it's crazy. You know, when as long as I've been going to jail, you could order kosher meals and religious meals and shit. At least here in Oregon, I know that's a thing. It's crazy how some people get catered to, man. It's weird. Marcus X, how do you get a wood chipper signed shirt, dog? So that's going to be difficult because while I am here in Oregon, Bunker Branding, where the shirts are made, is out in Texas, my man. I wish I had a way to do that, though. That would be sick. Ralph Mendoza said, expose Gail Peterson, 61-year-old woman grabbed 2 4th graders by the throat and held them against the wall for 11 seconds. Arizona, Fort Worth. Bro, I'm going to look into that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Huge love, Ralph. Victor said wood chippers, sign in grease, and pedophile blood. Yes. Vito said John's dad is a throat goat. John's dead. John's dead. John's dead. John's dead. Ooh. Somebody asked in the chat before they got twatapulted by my beautiful and amazing mod, Dr. J Light. Why are you so sensitive? No, bitch, you dumb, soft weirdo. I enjoy talking shit. And if someone talks shit to me and I talk shit back, I just happen to be the one with the microphone. It's a lot easier to talk like to a microphone than it is to type shit in a chat. That's not sensitivity. That's me enjoying my fucking day. I like it here. Asian Persuasion, what up? Great channel, JD. Wondering how these Antifa turds will be treated by inmates in jail. Not well, my guy. Not well. Absolutely not well. Probably better in a state like Oregon. That, you know, I was in prison yesterday at OSP speaking with inmates. I guarantee you those dudes, if they get sent to a place like OSP, they gonna get fucked up, bro. They gonna get fucked up. But imagine being in Texas or Florida. They getting all the way fucked up, brother. Love you. Walker Mac, what's up? Yo, JD, much love. When I cut that hair, you were going to get the straight special razor treatment and be pampered like a gentleman deserves. Thank you, my dude. Huge love and respect. Victor said Antifa got signed off as terrorists. Yes, they did. Tim Allen, Donkey Show said bricked up for John's dad. Hells yes. Ralph said Crockett is Kamala at that age. God, she is a nightmare, bro. Get the ratchet shit out of here. Stop political violence. San Antonio, Texas. Decorated Army vet James Bernard needs your help. Sign the change.org petition to exonerate him and stand against injustice. I'm going to be looking into that, and we will bring some light to that, brother. Thank you so much. Bookworm, anyone who doesn't love America, leave. As a matter of fact, please leave. We don't want you here. I'm with the shits on that, bro. I'm with the shits. If you're not proud of this country, just fucking go yonder way and let us be a decent country. You're what's wrong with this country. Marcus said, I'll pay $50 for a signed shirt. Would that do it? Marcus, it's really just more about the logistics. The logistics. I would never charge somebody for my signature, bro. Like, that ain't me. I'm happy to sign. I'm happy to take pics. I'm happy to do hugs. I literally bought shitloads of stickers to hand out to people for free when I meet them. It's just about logistics, man, because I don't have the shirts here. So it'd have to be shipped to me, and I'd have to sign it, and then it'd have to be shipped out, bro. Intellectual iconoclasm. On your short about online censorship, check on the Smith-Mund Modernization Act of 2012, buried in the 2013 NDAA. I'll check that out, bro. Thank you for the direction. Angel said there was a shooting in Pennsylvania where 3 officers died and 2 were wounded. Can you check that out later? I absolutely will. Is that recent? And Corey, what's up, bro? Hey, JD, much love from Alberta. I don't have a lot of skin in the game, but I see lots of stuff while trucking in the U.S., lots of problems, but lots of people like you doing what they can. And honestly, brother, that's what it takes. We're all in this together. We are these countries. You are Canada. We are the USA. This isn't about the politicians. It's about the people. That's why I'm not a part of either political party. I am for the citizens of the United States of America who have common sense, who are law-abiding, and who want to see what's best for our country. I'm going to hop off here and get some breakfast. I love you guys. I'll be back around later. So until then, it's always one love, baby. Be good or be good at it. That was